Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome along to the Rangers Rabble Podcast. Afternoon Rabble. How are we all? Sorry, I was just trying to sort something else out there. My apologies. How are we all? Thank you to everybody, by the way, all the members who joined us for the first morning Rabble, which does discuss Rangers and stuff. Just a little bit more of a light-hearted conversation in the morning. But yes, hello everybody. Welcome along. There's plenty to discuss, as I mocked the Jamie Vardy stuff when it first came about, just for simply wages alone. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there has been some more links that seem to be a little bit more credible. So we'll discuss that. Mo Diamande, is he off to Everton? How ironic would that be that Thelwell comes to Rangers and Diamande heads the other way to Everton when Purdy coming into Rangers as well? We'll discuss that. Some links as well for Cyril Dessers, as he could possibly, as he's admitted, he's heard the links and he could possibly be heading to Olympiacos. Nils Coppin gone. We'll have another wee chat about that as well. And of course, the takeover. Plenty to talk about. Get your comments in. I was ready to go full radio show there, Brian. I was going to give out a phone number and everything. That's the most professional intro I've ever done. So get your comments in. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Whatever, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Kick, follow us, like it, share it, subscribe to it. Why not? Brian, how you doing, my friend?
Again. Not bad. Long time no speak. But no, I mean, considering what we did this morning at 9:30, there's been movement already. You know, there's been stories coming out, so it's amazing how quickly news can come out of rumors. Even Sky are reporting some of this stuff. So there's possibly legs in some of these, which, as you say, we kind of mocked initially, but now we've got to maybe think it's maybe possible.
Well, yeah, but we really, really do. I'll tell you, right, we'll start with Vardy, right? And Leicestershire Live. Now, I think, and I could be wrong, but when I lived down south, the relationship between clubs and the media was much better than what it is up here. So the information that the media seem to get down south, not always, but sometimes, most of the time, is more credible than the media that we get up here. So Leicestershire Live are reporting that Rangers are reportedly seriously considering a stunning move for veteran striker Jamie Vardy. Vardy is now weighing up his next move with plenty of offers, and the Daily Mail says Rangers are among the clubs showing interest in the free agent. Brian, obviously, wages are a big topic of conversation here. If Jamie Vardy can find himself another club in England, or even a club, I don't know, with a club in the Championship be able to pay more than Rangers and Celtic, or maybe a move abroad, or does he fancy spending the last couple of years of his career at the biggest Scottish club and hopefully winning trophies and playing in Europe?
It's a big decision for him, isn't it? He's been at Leicester a long time. I believe they signed him for £1 million from Fleetwood, so they've had their value out of him. 200 goals in the Premier League, so he's 100 goals in the Premier League. Is it 200? 100? 200? 200, yeah. So it just depends.
200 goals for Leicester. Is it 200 goals in the Premier League or 200 goals for Leicester?
I think it's maybe Leicester. Maybe not Premier League, but Leicester certainly. I think it all depends what Jamie Vardy wants to do. It depends what his family situation is. Do they fancy a move up, or is he going to do what Gerrard did and stay up here on his own? He'll have offers down in England, no doubt, because he'll still do a job down there. He was still doing it in the Premier League, so it's really up to what he wants. I mean, as AJ said in the comments, he was on about 140,000 a week at Leicester, so it's that might be a bit of a stumbling block for us, because obviously
he was only on 140k a week.
Yeah, 40. So, this is going to be the stumble. I mean, he is 38, so he would have to, reduce his demands quite significantly, I would imagine, being that age. So, it's all about what Jamie Vardy fancies. Does he fancy a wee, challenge and a, as you say, coming up here to the biggest and richest club in Scotland? So it's up to him.
I know it feels good to be able to say that now, doesn't it? The richest club in Scotland. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go and win anything, but we're the richest club, so we'll take that right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can I just say a big massive thank you? Arlene McLean has joined up as a YouTube member. Thank you very much, Arlene, for the support. I know it's difficult. It's post-season, but barring transfers and stuff, there's not an amazing amount of stuff happening. But the support we're getting is unrivaled, honestly. It's absolutely amazing, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Patreon. It's amazing. So thank you very much. So please do like and share and subscribe because it really, really does help the show out. Jumbo's saying that Vardy would stroll it up here. If we can make it happen, we should be all over it. He's the best striker in the squad by a mile. Now, taking that into consideration, Brian, right, and also we've been sold on this player trading model where we've got to bring players in who maybe aren't necessarily at their peak, try and get them towards their peak, sell them for more money, right? Do we have to also remember, but that we have to have players in the squad now who are good enough now? And if that means signing somebody who's towards the end of their career or even late 20s, early 30s that you might not have a lot of resale on, we're going to have a couple of them sprinkled around the team. It can't just always be players for the future.
No, you have to have a good mix. You have to have a really good mix of experience and youth. Because youth has, as we're saying, youth hasn't got that experience of, winning leagues and trophies and stuff like that. Whereas the likes of Vardy winning the Premier League down in England, he has that experience. He's played in the Champions League with Leicester. So, he's got a vast amount of experience in international football as well. So, as Geordie's saying, Defoe was the perfect example. He came up here and, strolled it as well. So, again, I'll go back to what I said. It's all depending on Vardy's drive and what's motivating him now, because he's done everything in England. Let's be honest, right? He's won the league. He's done all that. So, what's his drive now? Is he wanting to, is he wanting to carry on winning things, or is he very much wanting to go, stay down in England, as you say, maybe move down to the Championship? Birmingham have just come up. Are they going to, because they've shelled a lot of money out recently as well, so they're back in the Championship. So it's all about what Vardy wants. And we signed David Weir when he was 36, and we all thought that was a stupid thing, and he stayed till he was 41. So. We have had guys in the past who've stayed in their twilight years, so it's not out with the realms of possibility. It just doesn't seem like the sort of profile that we're looking for, is it? But we need experience.
Well, the thing is, what is the profile that we're looking for now as a football club? We've got no owners, we've no coach, no manager, no head coach, whatever way you want to go about it. We're talking about bringing players in. Is this going to be a model that we're going to have a head coach, i.e. Davide Ancelotti, and he's going to be told, here's your players? If that's the model, then it's up to Thelwell and Purdy, who comes into the football club. But surely, regardless of what club you're at, the head coach still has some sort of say.
I would like to think so, because he's obviously going to have to work with them. So it's all very well director of football or head of recruitment saying, well, I've signed you these 3 players, here you go. Well, the manager's got to have some form of input, because he's got to say, well, they're not going to fit in my system. They're not the players I want. So it's obviously the manager, or the head coach manager, as you say, whatever you want to call him, he's going to have some form of say in what players come in, because, as I say, he's got to work with them. He's got to get the best out of that squad. So, yeah, the manager stroke head coach has certainly got to have a say, no doubt about that.
I've got a new setup and I can't get my mouse over to take the mute off, and I can't remember what the shortcut is on the keyboard either. Yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, it would be big news, I suppose, if we brought Jamie Vardy in scoring all the goals. And yeah, as I think it was Gallant that said it earlier, can you imagine the service he would get?
Oh.
Although I'm not 100% sure with all the low blocks how much service that he would get. But not just Jamie Vardy's in the news with regards to transfers to Rangers. away from Rangers now. We'll move on to Bryan. And Mohamed Diamande. Everton appear to be interested, according to the latest rumours. Sum up Diamande for me, Bryan, will you?
A young midfielder with lots of talent, but unfortunately consistency lets him down. I think that's the only sort of thing I can say. He's very tenacious, but his composure and just his killer ball sometimes lets him down. I think as I say, he retains the ball very well, but he gets caught out of a little bit as well. So as I say, he is an exciting sort of dynamic midfielder, but he's very inconsistent, and I'm afraid that's what Rangers have been for a good while now, is inconsistent. So we're needing him to step up and get more consistent at the end of the day, because he'll throw in these performances. You think, wow, that was some game he had, and then he'll just be missing for 2 or 3 games, and we can't have that at Rangers. We need guys that are on it all the time. So I mean, you seen the difference in Raskin when Barry came in, because I don't care what he says. As soon as Barry came in, Raskin upped his game. He was getting the best out of Barry was getting the best out of him. So Raskin was showing that sort of signs of consistency. So we're needing Diamande to do the same now. He was showing it a little bit more on a more consistent basis. I'm not saying he was doing it all the time, but he was certainly doing a lot better things in the end of the season. So we're just needing him for him to be a bit more consistent and a bit more level-headed.
Well, Garland sums it up quite well for me. He's great in Europe, but hit or miss in Scotland. Yes. Jimbo, Dio did very good in Europe, very average 9 times out of 10 in domestic football. Yeah. And Cammy as well. Dio is a decent player. He's still green, though, needs experience. Yeah, I would agree with that. How much can we put his domestic form down, but to how poor the team was overall? Is Dio the kind of player who needs better players round about him, just to let him go and do his thing?
I think so. Yes, I don't think Dio's the sort of leader, sort of player like maybe Raskin is, for example. I don't think he's a guy that can, drag the team forward, for example. I think as folk are saying, he's probably better in Europe in the sort of bigger games for us, because he gets the time on the ball, and he gets he's just more composed in those games, because as I say, he gets more time, but is a lot, as I've said before, he's very inconsistent in Scotland, and it's just that's been the bugbear for a lot of people. So the cracking player, I like him a lot, because I find him, he's got central midfielder or left foot's very unusual, isn't it? I don't know why it seems to be an unusual sort of position, but he seems to. You think he's going to lose the ball, and then he somehow keeps it. I don't know how he does it. Sometimes, he looks as though he's over touched it, and then you think he's going to lose the ball, but he somehow gets it and moves it on again. So he's just a frustrating guy. And hopefully, as you say, with better players around him next season, then that'll lift him up even more.
Yeah, and I agree with Rangers on too. They're Diamande, class player, but is better suited to the big games. The bigger issues is the lack of squad depth, which I 100% agree with. Mm-hmm. Although I have to say, I can't find the comment now, and it's really doing my nut in. So I don't want to be accused of saying this. There it's here, singing the blues. Apparently, Dio was valued by Thelwell at 20 million, right? Now, Singing the Blues is also put in Mo Diamande 20 million, bring in Lennon Miller for 8, right? In a heartbeat, in an absolute heartbeat, right? But Bryan, would you be shocked if we managed to get 20 million for Diamande?
I kind of would, yes. I think 20 million seems a bit of a stretch, doesn't it? Seems a bit of a stretch, 20 million. I mean, for 20 million, you're looking for man of the match performances. You're looking for, lots of goals, and he's not doing that. He's not a standout for us just now. He's not consistent enough for that for me. So that's the problem I've got with that now. Is he's good, but he's not 20 million. Maybe, as Craig's saying, maybe 8-10. I think that's maybe a fair shout. But certainly
if that's fair, then you push for 15, and that's what we need to start doing as a football club.
Yes.
We need to start overvaluing our players.
Yes.
And selling them for decent money.
Correct. I don't think like starting at 20 though. I think that's a little bit extreme, if we're being brutally honest. But I think max 15. I wouldn't be too. That would be a fair assessment.
The Jersey Gazette saying, why don't we sign Ronaldo? I think Ronaldo's weekly wage is probably more than our yearly budget, if I'm being brutally honest with you.
Yeah. I think he's going to another Saudi team because he wants to play in that Club World Cup.
Right. Well, I was going to say, he would sell shirts. He would definitely sell shirts. He'd be able to buy you a new laptop, Brian. That's what he'd be able to do.
Probably would, yeah. He probably would, actually.
And like Reece is saying there, like I said, 10 to 15 million, man, I would say that's probably a fair price.
Yeah.
To be brutally honest. Now, another transfer rumour, Brian. Another transfer. It's just transfer rumour central. Yeah. Cyril Dessers, the Nigerian goal-scoring machine. And I'm not being facetious. The Nigerian goal-scoring machine has been linked with a move to Olympiacos. And he has said in an interview, if I can find it, when you score the number of goals, it's normal for other teams to show interest. I've seen the links with Olympiacos, but I don't know anything specific about it. Which tells me, Brian, that, Dessers is the kind of guy who would probably be happy to stay with us next season. Enjoys it at Rangers, likes the club. Even for the amount of stick he gets, loves the fans, loves everything about it. But I don't think it would be hard pushed if a bid came in. I don't think he would make a big song and dance about it, Brian.
No, I don't think he would. I think he would say, he's obviously getting this. If he does move just now, you see, I think this would be his last sort of big deal, wouldn't it? I think this would be his last sort of bumper deal because he's in his, he's 29, 30 now, isn't he? So, this would be his last sort of big bumper deal. So he might just turn around and say, thanks very much. So, and Olympiacos have done well in recent European sort of excursions as well. I think the Europe, was it the Conference League they got to the semis? So, they've done reasonably well in Europe, Olympiacos. So, and it's another one where if Dessers left, would you be totally upset? I don't think most would. But then he's the only guy that seems to be scoring goals for us, on a regular basis. So that's a bit of a problem. So there's going to be so many ins and outs this summer. It's going to be unbelievable.
Well, let me ask you, but a clear out Brian that's needed, right, at our football club, and that's not just players, that's scouting, that's youth recruitment, that's all sorts, right? Is he just on the playing squad when you're talking about clearing out some of the players that maybe don't have what it takes to play for Rangers? How top a priority is selling Dessers? Or is he somebody right now that you would say, look, we've got other issues right now to deal with. Dessers is the least of their problems.
Dessers is extremely low down the pecking order as far as problems is concerned. He's way down the priority list. The priority list is getting that defence and goalkeeping situation sorted. That's what we need to sort out. That, for me, is the biggest problem because that was what let us down last year, wasn't it? And the year before that, and the year before that was the goalkeeping and the defence. So that's where we need to start. That's where the new head coach and sporting director have got to start looking. For me, is the defence and the goalkeeping. That is teams that have good, don't have good defences. Very, very rarely win leagues. But good teams with good goalkeepers and solid defences win leagues, and that's what we need to get back. That's what we need to get back to. We've always had good goalkeepers and good defences over the years, but sadly, in the last few, we've really struggled, and we need to get back to being a solid goalkeeping unit and a partnership with the defence.
Well, there's the Gers Gazette offering you a brand new computer because he's terrified yours is going to blow up live on the stream, which, by the way, would be phenomenal view-wise. Everybody come and rewatch this. A guy blew himself up on the stream, his laptop. I don't even know if you can joke about that, can you? But there we go.
My face would just be black and jet black with the
new manager will want new players. If Desser's value is maxed, then we sell. Gone are the days we hold on to nice guys. And I want to add that in. I keep losing comments. Apologies to who it was, but another comment came in along the same lines of that, Brian, is the Rangers team right now is just full of too many nice guys. Far too many nice guys. The only one in the comment said, it might even have been Rangers on tour, that the only kind of nippy sweetie we've got is Raskin in the middle of the park.
We've said it for ages. We're not streetwise enough and we're not tough enough. We seem, as you say, we're too nice. We're not aggressive enough. We just lack a beating heart in that midfield. I mean, Raskin, it's all very well having Raskin, but you need others around him to help. It's not you can't just have one guy going around trying to, flying into tackles and doing everything. It's a team effort. We need everybody singing from the same hymn sheet. We need everybody on the same page and being aggressive in the press. Too often you see one guy pressing for us, but nobody else helps him. So it's almost a pointless exercise. You need everybody pressing at the same time. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been saying that we've been far too nice, and too easy to, too easy to sort of get off the ball and just far too easy to play against. Even the likes of the Motherwells and St Mirrens, they're tougher than us. And that's ridiculous, Remember, Souness turned around one, back in the day, says, well, you can either play football against us or we can have a battle. It's up to you. We'll play football or we'll have a battle. And that's what we need to get back to. We need to be able to roll our sleeves up and dig some results out with a bit of fight and a bit of grit. Ideally, you want to play good football and win games, but there's going to be games where you just got to grind it out and sneak a 1-0.
Yeah, oh no, 100%. And we really, really, really struggle to do that. One other quick thing, and this was something that I expected to happen, Brian, and I've got absolutely zero idea how much truth's in it, if there's any truth in it at all. But it would make sense, and that is that FC20 are interested in bringing Robin Proper back. Now, is it as simple as we just cut our losses and whatever FC20 want to offer, we just accept? Or do we put our foot down and go, no, we want our money back because you sold to somebody who's not good enough to play in Scotland? Not good enough, just the way that they play the game doesn't suit Scottish football, so we want our money back.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? $1.5 million was paid?
It was either 1.5 or 2.5. I can't remember.
It was something like that. I doubt the new owners are going to just, again, give guys away. They'll want something. They'll want a decent amount back. They'll want at least what they paid back. It's just one of these signings that simply hasn't worked. Same with Lammers. Good, obviously a good player, but he just didn't suit Scotland. I think a lot of guys come to Scotland thinking that it's quite easy. We've been called a farmers' league. We've been called, all sorts, and folk think it's a breeze to play up here, and it's not. There's been bigger and better players came to Scotland thinking it's going to be easy and failed miserably. So, there's part of me wants to just flog him to 20 for whatever they want to pay, but at the same time, I'm not wanting us to cut our losses. 20 ciggies and a bottle of ginger. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but no, there's part of me just wants
4 cans and Laudrup back. 4 cans and Laudrup back.
Jeez, don't. But there's part of me wants to just get shot of him at any cost, but then there's another part of me says no, we need to get money for him. So it all depends. Again, we don't know how this new owners are going to operate. We've got a fair idea how they might operate, but we haven't seen it in action yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it seems likely that he'll go back to Twente, isn't it? That was his former club, so it makes sense.
Aye, probably. By the way, do you know? I bet you Bryan Laudrup could still play now. Have you seen him lately?
Oh, he's ripped, isn't he?
He's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
But how can you be, as Jim White? Do you know Jim White says to him, "How are you so good?" Right? How can you be that handsome for that long? Like, surely at some point you've got to just start looking like me and you, Brian. At some point, you know what I mean?
Don't put me in the same category as you. Gee whiz. I've got a few years. I've got a few years in you. You're gonna have to catch up. But no.
Well, wait a minute. You try to say you're more handsome than me?
I would like to think so, yeah.
Oh, that's a shocking behaviour. I'll have you know that I'm the third best looking person in my house of 3 people.
I'm the best looking in my house. It's only me.
Aye, well, yeah, very true. Right, okay, look, the takeover's happened, Brian. And, you know, it's one of the ones we seem to have kind of moved on quite quick from the takeover happening because we all knew it was going to happen. So, you know, the first day, or when it was announced, everybody's buzzing and the takeover and this and that. And then everybody got a chance to sleep on it and they woke up and they went, right, where's the manager? Yeah. Right, where's the new scouts? Right, what's happening? Why has nothing been done yet? Let's get this sorted. It feels as though we've went, right, yous are here now, right, get on with it.
Oh, there's no time, no rest for the wicked, is there? As you say, we've just literally got the takeover sorted out, but we're moving on now. It's the manager, it's the head coach, it's this. We're wanting signings. It's going to be relentless now until the transfer window shuts. Let's be honest, it's just going to be relentless. Right, we need new players, we need this, we need that, but we do need a manager. And I think everybody was sort of hoping that Thirlwell would do a press conference today and unveil the sporting director, and then, oh, by the way, here's your new manager, head coach. I think that was maybe a little bit wishful thinking from Rangers, but maybe in 2 minutes they might have a little press conference just after we finish, you know, like they like to do. So
yeah,
but no,
that's what they tend to do, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's just a case of we're so excited because we've been starved of success for so long. We've been led up so many garden paths that, you know, we've been told this is the route to the promised land, and we've not had it. But we all feel it this time. We all feel this is different. We all feel that we're going in a good direction with guys that actually know what they're doing. So we're just so excited that it's finally we're finally being taken over by good guys and not shysters.
Oh, by the way, here's a comment, Brian. I don't know how this is going to go down for multiple, man. How can Bryan Laudrup be so good and yet not the best in his family?
Oh, jeepers. I mean,
was Michael Laudrup better?
He played for Barcelona and Real Madrid. And
Bryan Laudrup played for Rangers.
I know.
And Chelsea and AC Milan.
Don't know. Michael Laudrup was some player. He played with Romario and Stoichkov and that at Barcelona. So I have to go with multiple man in that one. I think Michael Laudrup. Yeah,
I think multiple man is towing a very, very, very shallow line.
Well, I'm in multiple man's camp because I think Michael Laudrup was better.
Yes. Well, can I just say a big thank you? Yes, a big thank you to the Gers Gazette. What stands out about the Rabble compared to other Rangers shows? There's a related approach on here and banter with subscribers. Obviously, I'm fans of any Gers channel, as we all are. But Rangers Rabble is top notch. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. I do try. Sometimes the comments go so fast that you simply can't keep up. But I do try and get as many comments up as I possibly can. And this for Jordy, Brian, we need to see some form of movement this week, or you will fall behind yet again before the season even starts, or before you get a new laptop.
Yes. And Rangers have just put up a post about Thirlwell starting his first managerial job on X. So
what?
They've literally just posted it in at 1 o'clock. Typical. It's just a
A welcome to Rangers.
Yes, it's a written post, but yeah. So he's in the building, he's operating. So
there is a new. This is farewell. This is a new chapter for Rangers, and while we recognise success won't come easy, our goal is clear. We need to win. Yes, we do. My focus is on delivering that with discipline and ambition. We'll give everything to move this club forward as quickly and sustainably as we can. So, if you want to read more of that, folks, then you can head over to Rangers Twitter and read what he's got to say. I know we need to think about moving the time for this afternoon rabble, because that announcement screwed us the other day. So absolutely screwed us.
Although I did sort of give you a hint to stay on just a little bit longer than 1 o'clock.
I know, but what I should have done was came off and then started another show because nobody picked it up. But however, that will do us for today. Hope the members enjoyed the morning rabble this morning. I'm considering changing the time on that, making it 10 o'clock for obvious reasons. Tonight, there is no women's show tonight because the season is over. But the Monday night rabble will be on at 7:30. And I believe that's it for the rest of today. And then obviously tomorrow we're back with another morning rabble, afternoon rabble, and then the members show tomorrow night as well. So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's still tuning in, even though the season's done and there's probably better things you could be doing with your time. Just want to say a big thank you to all the support that we're getting. Whatever you're watching this on, Tik, Twitter, YouTube, give us a follow, give the show a like, make sure you're subscribed, help support the channel in any way you possibly can. If you want to support a bit further, then you can become a member now. Links in the description for either YouTube or Patreon. YouTube video, Patreon audio. Very, very simple. So you just pick whatever you fancy, and away you go and get loads and loads of extra content. And you can check out our merchandise down there as well through our Arlo site. Remember, if you spend £50 or more and you email confirmation and your details to rabbleisland@gmail.com, then you get entered into the draw to win a PlayStation 5. And AJ's finishing the show by saying, can't paint a garden fence, so watching you instead. Well,
it's not too bad, is it?
Can he beat that? He cannot beat that. Bryan, my friend, thank you very much. 2 shows in the space of 2 hours.
I know. No, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope to see you all tonight at 7:30 for the Monday night rabble. Until then, take care, and we shall speak very, very soon.